Donald Trump just gave Pete Hegseth, the Department of War, the go-ahead to make military moves off the coast of Venezuela. And if Maduro does not give everything in ownership over to the United States of America, including going back on recent military and industrial deals that Venezuela just signed with Russia, the United States of America has the go-ahead now to go to war. So we're going to see a big increase in military activity there. Let's watch what major news organizations have to say about it.
The U.S. significantly increasing its military presence in the Caribbean, deploying bombers, warships, and Marines to target narco-terrorists. Lucas Tomlinson's live in Trinidad to explain. Hi, Lucas.
Good afternoon, Mike. And after this show of force of U.S. warships in the Caribbean, President Trump says he's open to speaking with Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, hoping to have that conversation soon.
I believe that we're going to see a complete takeover there. Russia, this is what your grocery store will look like in war. This is going to be an American city. We are not untouchable here, folks. That's one of the biggest problems that I see, is that people inside of the prepper community believe that we will never have this type of destruction on the grounds of American soil. I'm here to tell you that that is 100% wrong. You're living through a very paramount time in our country right now, and that's a time where we shift the dynamics of power and safety. You know it because when you go out in the street, you're not safe like you were 10, 20 years ago. You understand that even social unrest can cause a disruption so deep that people who go out this morning will not be going home tonight. And that's just one of the things that we see. You're going to start to see major events across our country. This is Candace Owens, and I want to read it to you. This is shocking news. Candace Owens says, 2 days ago, she was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. She says first she worked to determine the authenticity of the person's position and his or her proximity to the French couple. She says that she deemed the information that they gave her to be credible enough to share it publicly just in case something happens to her. In short, she says that this person claims that Macron, the French leadership, has executed and paid for her political smoking. She says you're reading that correctly. The green light was given to a small team of mercenaries. She is told that there is one Israeli that is in the group and the plans are already in motion. The person gave concrete proof, she says, and they are well placed within the French government. Further to this point, she claims that the recent smoking in a political agenda inside the United States of America happened with training of the French Legion's 13th Brigade. It was a multi-country involvement. The journalist who is delivering information there live is also at risk. She says this is deadly serious. The head of the country wants these people gone. She asks that every person who ever sees this message to please share it. She doesn't know who in the American government can be trusted. This source claims that our leaders, that is Donald Trump, the CIA, the Department of War, Pete Hegseth, they are aware of this. She has more specific information, which is verifiable should they care to reach out. And then she thanks the brave official in France who let her know that this was happening because there is a move by evil taking place. She ends it with, "May God bless you. Truly, let all be revealed." Well, folks, there is definitely danger in getting the information out because the people who thrive in the shadows do not want to see the light.
It's completely rigged. Our election process has been rigged to keep the Democrat Party in power, honestly, since the 60s. And every 20 years, people get so fed up with it, they elect a Republican governor. And that's where we are right now. The gerrymandering districting, really for me, being at the head of law enforcement, the leader of law enforcement.
What you're watching is a sheriff inside of California. He says that the election process there is so negatively rigged, and it's been rigged, that it is only meant to keep people in power since 1960. The elections are no longer free. The United States of America, by this account, is no longer a free country. And with that understanding, you start to see that something bigger is happening. We can very easily look at everything that's going on, from masked men taking people in the streets, to disregard for political allies, to the smoking attempts and the actual events that have taken place upon political violence. You no longer can just walk through the streets with your First Amendment upheld by government, upheld by the United States of America. This, according to some, is what will lead us to civil war.
We certainly were clear about our disagreements in the room, and the mayor-elect made clear that we uphold sanctuary laws in our city and all immigrants will be safe in our city. We also made very clear that we feel there has been inhumane raids just this week. So it will be a future conversation with the president, but we again grounded in an overall desire and the acknowledgement that our sanctuary city laws allow cooperation in extreme violent felony cases. And that is something where I think we have alignment.
So this is the Mondami. This is New York. This is his official saying that New York City is harboring violent, illegal criminals under their sanctuary laws. And only by working with the federal government in cooperation with immigration enforcement will you ever see these violent criminals out of the city. That to me is a criminal action. They're acknowledging that they have violent criminals inside of their sanctuary city, and that's a problem.
Thank you, Chairman. It's such an honor to stand here to strongly support the House Concurrent Resolution 9. As a Korean American who grew up in the aftermath of the Korean War, I have witnessed the horrors of socialism firsthand. I always say, if you want to see the difference between socialism and freedom, just look at the Korean Peninsula at night. South Korea shines with opportunity. North Korea is trapped in darkness. Time and time again throughout history, socialism has led to disaster, starvation, imprisonment, and the death of over 100 million people worldwide.
That's starting to sound like some problems we have here.
Socialism has led to disaster.
Disaster, which we are facing.
Starvation.
Starvation. We have a food supply and crop issue.
Imprisonment.
Imprisonment taking place all across our country. And wars that are about to pop off. Folks, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. This is an independent report. You can look on nationalinstituteofhealth.gov for this yourself. They say that natokinase, how do you pronounce it? Natokinase? I believe so. Dissolves 84% of microclots within a multi-hour period. So let's go ahead and go to, let's copy it first. Natokinase, nih.gov, natokinase. A promising alternative and prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease on the National Institute of Health's National Library of Medicine, a .gov trusted source. They say cardiovascular disease is a leading cause of death in the world. Natokinase. Now, what natokinase is they take a peptide or a protein of sorts, a nutrient, when they ferment soy with a bacteria. And what comes off of it is this product, natokinase, if I'm saying it right. And so what this is an over-the-counter purchasable medication that many people could use if they wanted to. Consult your doctor first, of course.
If they need it.
This is Donald Trump confirming that the National Guard will go to New York City if necessary.
New York City. Do you still plan to deploy the National Guard to New York City?
If they need it. Right now, other places need it more, but if they need it, we had a very good meeting yesterday. We talked about that. But if they need it, I would do it.
Mr. President, are you willing?
Just look how quickly the people who are in this country illegally run away as soon as ICE comes up to a Home Depot. So folks, this is the United States of America where you see this happening. I don't know if this country is ever going to look like it did just years ago, but I'm going to keep reporting on this information and doing the doom scrolling so that you don't have to. So please make sure you subscribe to this channel, Full Spectrum Survival on YouTube. We only publish here and sometimes to x.com. Please make sure that you are engaging in the comments. It helps YouTube's algorithm. And if you see a hype button down there, please click it. Share this video with friends and family. And until next time, please stay safe out there.